But then getting on to race morning, we got up about 3:30, had breakfast, and we walked into town. It was about a half an hour walk, which was quite good, just to kind of get the build up to it. I was okay walking into town, little apprehensive, but I'm always apprehensive. We got into transition, set up my bike and everything. Then I came out of transition and met up with Susan, and that's when it really hit me, the enormity of what I was about to do. Got a little bit emotional, but yeah, got over that. And then we had about a half an hour wait lining up because you went out in age groups. And then once we got into the water, you had to swim up to a first row of guys on surfboards, pretty much just tread water there for about 5 minutes till the group in front of you had gone, and then you swim up to the start line, and then yeah, the hooter goes, and off you go, race start. Yeah, it was a pretty good swim. I was it wasn't a fast swim for me because I'm not a fast swimmer, but that was kind of what was to be expected. I finished within the kind of parameters I'd kind of thought I would, so that was good. And got out onto the bike, felt really, really good. Yeah, fueled well. Had plenty of fuel, plenty of water. Felt great, and I finished the bike in just under 6 hours, and we initially thought it could be between 6 and 6.5 hours, so I was really pleased at coming in just under 6 hours. And yeah, transition was uneventful, got out onto the run, felt amazing for the first 3 or 4k, and the first about the first 6k you go down a little drive, so we actually went past our apartment. Susan was sat outside on the grass waiting for me, encouragement, which was really great. You go down there about 4k, turn around, come back, and then through town again, up Polani Road. And as I was heading up the second half of Polani, saw a guy high-fiving everybody, and when I got to him, he high-fived me, just happened to be Jan Frodeno, and I had a photograph with him a couple of days before that, so I knew who he was, obviously. And then off to my left, there was a woman handing out cups of ice to competitors, and she turned around, handed me one. It was Daniela Riff, which was absolutely amazing. I was shocked to see her, and yeah, carried on the way up the top of Polani, then out onto the Queen K, which is undulating to say the least. And it's about another, I don't know, 12k undulating kind of uphill before you get to the Energy Lab. And then you take a left at the fuel station at the corner of the Energy Lab. And then it's about 4k down to the bottom of the Energy Lab. And you always feel great going down there because it's slightly downhill, even though it was hot and no wind and there's no shade whatsoever. You turn around at the bottom, and I was hoping to get to the bottom of the Energy Lab before it got dark, and I actually got halfway back before sunset, so I was quite pleased with that. But by then I was just in a bit of survival mode, having to walk and run and walk and run, walk the aid stations, out on the Queen K and down the Energy Lab, which was really good. The aid stations actually had chicken broth soup, so that was a nice change, apart from gels and all the sweet things you normally get at the aid stations. Yeah, eventually got out of the Energy Lab and got back onto the Queen K, and it was absolutely pitch black, and yeah, you still got about 13-14k to go, and it was a little bit demoralising because I was just had nothing in my legs by then. The average temperature I found out afterwards for the run was 29 degrees, so it was, I found it tough. But yeah, once you get back towards town, the last aid station is just before, it's on the Queen K, just before you turn down Polani Road. And so I ran down Polani. You run down Polani halfway, take a left on Kuakini, run down there a couple of blocks, take a right, and then run down to Ali'i Drive. And once you get down to Ali'i, you take another right, and you're only about 700 or 800 metres from the finish, and it was absolutely crazy. You know, the crowd was 4 or 5 deep, and the actual finish chute is probably only about 3 metres wide. It's not very wide, so you actually really feel like you're really among the spectators, and everybody's high-fiving you, cheering you on, and it's an amazing feeling. And yeah, so you eventually, and the noise just gets louder and louder and louder the nearer the finish line you get. And yeah, then you run up the little ramp to the finish chute, and then this is what you get at the end. And what was really cool was Susan was at the finish line to give me my lei, and yeah, a little bit emotional at that. And then went through to recovery, and yeah, I wasn't hungry. I just wanted something cold because it had been obviously a pretty warm day throughout the day. And yeah, got through to Susan, had to go and pick her bikes and transition bags up, and then just a 2.5k walk back to the Como. So all in all, I'm really pleased with how it went. I did 13 hours 19 minutes. I was hoping to get in under 13 hours. Sorry, under 13:30. So yeah, 13:19 was within the ballpark that we'd kind of thought I could do. So yeah, would I do it again? The big question is definitely. I was hoping to try and qualify to go back to Nice next year to do the men's world champs in Nice, but after this, it's I've decided even if I was lucky enough to get a slot to go to Nice, I'm not going to take it. What I'm hoping to do is go back to Malaysia next September to do Ironman Malaysia, have a really good crack at that. I finished 6th in my age group there last year, and I'd like to get a bit better than that and try and get a slot for Kona 2026. So we'll see how that goes.